No. It's recording. Go ahead.
Now what goes on?
From when you were assigned to the USS Saratoga.
I went from Great Lakes to San Diego. I was assigned to USS Saratoga, and on the way out from Great Lakes, someplace we stopped in Kansas to take on water, and there was about 300 sailors on this Pullman train, and we all got off the train and started chasing rabbits while the locomotive was taking on water. Then we made from Flagstaff to Williams, Arizona. That was a downhill grade, and the train came apart. And we finally made San Diego. And 8 or 12 of us that came out from Great Lakes were assigned to Saratoga and SARA, this, up to the Fleet Landing there at Broadway in San Diego. We took our sea bag and went aboard. And the closer we got to the ship, the bigger it got. And from the water line to the flight deck, it was 42 foot up. Then you got up to the flight deck, and it was 999 feet long and 85 feet wide. And it took us a good 2 weeks to familiarize yourself with the ship, because you go aboard a ship like that, you're just one guy and there's 3,800 other people on there. You're going through chow line, then you're assigned a billet. I got to work in the forward elevator machine, and that's where my battle station was the forward elevator. And I was mess cooking. And then when the general quarters they call people to pilots man your planes, everybody went to general quarters, same difference. And when the torpedo hit, when I picked myself up the deck, I ran to my battle station, and the back part of me caught up about 100 feet, about 30 foot down the passageway, and all went down together. We had to go down 3 flights of ladders. You go down the ladder aboard ship, you go down on the heels of your hand, you use the handrails to climb the ladders. And the next day at 11 o'clock, we went dead in the water. We had salt water in the fuel line. We took the Oil Kings. Thank heavens we had 16 destroyers and 4 cruisers with us, so they just started making like Santa Anita out there in the ocean. We were setting decks, and one of the destroyers dropped 2 depth charges, and he thinks he got the submarine that hit us. Because when they fire a submarine, they can set the depth if they want, because the torpedo that hit us went under the belly of the Minneapolis and hit us right in number 10 boiler room. Blew out 3 boiler rooms and 2 engine rooms. And then we made it into Pearl Harbor, and they put us in the dry dock, and you look down, and you could see the hole in the side of the ship where you could put 2 freight cars side by side and run through there. But you don't know, and the explosion was in, the metal was bent in, so how close the explosion came to the keel of the ship, whether it bent it or what, I don't know. But they put a patch on the ship, and we brought her back to Bremerton, Washington, and they were working on it, and I got transferred from Saratoga to the Atlantic coast. I went aboard the Thomas Stone then. I was assigned to a naval receiving station with Pier 92 in New York City, and 2 piers over at Pier 88, the Normandy, a big French liner, was laying on her side. Somebody had pulled the plug on that and capsized the ship right there at the port. To this day, I don't know whether they know what happened to it. And then I went down to Newport News, Virginia, and caught the USS Thomas Stone. And we sailed around in Chesapeake, and then we'd take on troops and run them up on the beach, and they'd stay overnight. We'd go back on the beach and pick them up. We did that from July till September. Then we went up to Bayonne, New Jersey, the degaussing, where they put straps around the ship, but everybody gets off the ship for 5 hours, and they shoot the electricity. That's to keep the torpedoes from hitting you. And so, October 41, I was in Belfast, Ireland. Then we went to, whether it's a river or an inlet, I don't know. It's Inverary, Scotland. And they put all the troops aboard, and we went down the Atlantic, and we was going to invade North Africa. Our destination between Oran and Algiers, and we got torpedoed going through the Straits of Gibraltar. Another 12 guys were killed. And then I was assigned to a small boat. I was an engineer in a small boat, and I took it over the side that night and come along the side of the ship. And troops, soldiers come down the cargo net and got aboard the small boat. And we were supposed to make Algiers that night, 30 miles away, you know. And we couldn't, if we went over 300 RPMs on the screw, everybody would get wet, so we didn't get very far. The next morning, everybody went aboard this English corvette, and he circled out in the Mediterranean until the morning of November 7th, and we went into downtown Algiers like we owned the place. We set up Marlin machine guns on the warehouse and 250 caliber machine guns that we'd taken off the small boats, because they sank all those small boats out in the Mediterranean someplace. So then we were laying to out in an open water, and Jerry come over twice and dropped bombs, and hit the bombs hit where the first bomb had hit. So nobody was hurt, but it just scared you a little bit more. And I was there from 42 till the latter part of March of 44. And I was assigned to an Army base. And I'd come in the afternoon, we'd work on the ship. Then they finally said, we're going to send you home. I was out shooting baskets one day, and they come in and hollered, and they said, pack your sea bag, you're going home. So I got in the truck, and they drove me from Algeria to Oran. And from Oran, I got on the plane and flew from there to Port Leoti. From Port Leoti, I flew to Dakar, North Africa, and from North Africa, we landed at Belém, Brazil, stayed all night. Went to Natal, Brazil, to pick up quinine. They didn't have any, so we took off again. We landed at Port of Spain, Trinidad, stayed there all night. Then we went to Bermuda, stayed there all night. Then the next morning we took off and we're flying into New York. About an hour before we touched down in New York, lightning hit the side of the plane. That scares you again. But when I flew into downtown New York, the Statue of Liberty was holding a snowball. 4th day of April in 44. And I got to go home. And I got to report back to New York on Long Island. They had a receiving station. I can't remember the name of that, but I went from there back up to Newport News. I was assigned to the Artemis. We put that in commission. We did all our thing. Then we brought that around to the Panama Canal. and up to San Diego, and I got to come home. Then we went back to the Artemis went from San Diego to Pearl Harbor, back to Port Hueneme, back to Pearl Harbor, back to Port Hueneme, back to Pearl. And then we had took on troops and things there, and we went to Lajuan and different islands, and we made Iwo Jima on the just right after Germany fell. So I mean, and then we had.
Oh, gotcha.
I got to watch raise the flag on Mount Surabaki. After that, we went to an island atoll. It's called Ulithi out in the Pacific. And we stayed there, and then the ship was assigned to New Caledonia. And I went to New Caledonia, and going down, you went across the equator. Before you cross the equator, you're a pollywog. After you cross the equator, during that crossing, you're initiated in, you become a shellback. So then we went into New Caledonia, and I got transferred. And
after all these years, too much experience.
I got transferred back to the States, to San Francisco, and the wife and I were married on the 10th of June, shortly after Iwo Jima. Then I got transferred to San Pedro, and I put Arcadia into commission. It was a destroyer tender. I got to take that back around through the Panama Canal and back up to Charleston, South Carolina. My name come up for discharge, and they sent me off on the beach at Charleston, South Carolina. I was discharged there, and I got 12 cents a mile home. Paid my way home.
What was the most important place that you visited, the whole time?
I'd say Iwo Jima.
How did you feel about the experience that you had there?
Well, I don't wish that on anybody. I mean, that's it's like an earthquake. Only lasts for about 15, 30 seconds. Then you realize the whole thing is your home is being taken away from you, and you go to your battle station. Now, Jim Hannig, Ivan Paulson, and Cecil Paisley, we all worked together. And then we'd go out where they kept the motor launch, and we'd string our hammocks out there and sleep out in the open. It sounds kind of strange. You wrap yourself up in a Navy blanket, and you put where we got a spreaders about that long. They're 3/4 inch wood. You stick them in the head of your hammock, and you jump in there. And after you learn the hammock, you can get in and get undressed and dressed, put your shoes on, the whole shop. But then the first billet I had on the Saratoga, a hammock was, the bottom of the hammock was about as high up as that arch off the deck. So if you fell off, you had a gentle surprise coming down. But it's I don't want to go through it again. I don't want another thing. How would you feel? I mean, there's Japanese going to your school, and there's colored kids going to your school, and I was playing baseball and football with Japs and colored people, Mexicans. Well, we're all in the same country, like they call this in Japan or in North Africa. You goddamn yank, go home. I mean, it was a pleasant experience. But I don't wish it on anybody. You know, did any of you guys watch the Desert Storm? Have you seen newsreels of that? We didn't have that sophistication like they had in a Desert Storm. It's a Buffalo plane that can fly in at 450 miles high and hit from here to that building over there, hit a target 6 inches around and shut the valve off on the oil tank. And if somebody thinks, if China or somebody wants to pick on us, let's go get them. Don't say you put that. What they've got going now over in Iraq, I think we should go in there, and there's no parallel, no dividing line. He started all this stuff. Let's go get him and spank him and set him up right. I mean, you've got 12 countries now that are using the American dollar, and as time goes on, more and more people are going to use the American dollar. So I don't know what to tell you. But I don't want to go through it again. Pardon?
I wouldn't want to either.
So after you married and you had to go back, you wanted to get back as quick as you could?
Sure. I had a wife and 2 kids. My son is in Mesa, Arizona, working for Mesa Power and Electric. My daughter and her husband live in Garden Grove, and he's got the 3rd day of March next year, 23rd day of March next year, he'll have 31 years in the United Post. He's had 1 paymaster in 31 years.
Oh, she sent you the garage.
So, I mean, it's,
Well, I never see you down
if you want the military life, it's a good life.
I go down there 3 times a week.
If the rest of your family wants you to be there.
I'm gonna come down and check it out.
But,
I'm gonna come down and check it out.
like if you make 2nd or 1st class petty officer, then your wife and kids, then they I know guys that were stationed here, and they can't transfer to the East Coast. They were there 8 weeks, and their wife and kids would come back there, and I helped 2 fellows paint the naval housing where they were assigned to. After they were assigned to naval housing, and the wife didn't like it, then they went around town and they found a house that they could rent and afford.
So if you would have had a job, you wouldn't have enlisted?
I don't think so.
Do you wish you would have had a job? Or do you regret going into the war?
Well, all I can say is they picked on us. And it's like one Japanese admiral said, he says, I'd hope we haven't. You know what we've done? We've opened a big can of worms.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Can you imagine kids out in Kansas, Oklahoma, Iowa, New Hampshire, Connecticut, they couldn't get into the war quick enough on account of Pearl Harbor. They said, you want to fight? Let's fight. But then they had to be sent someplace. They had to wait for their uniforms. They had to wait for this. I mean, they ran out of shoes. They ran out of uniforms. Guys were laying around barracks for 3 weeks, 6 weeks, just waiting for uniform. I mean, it improved the economy. Girls were going to work in airplane plants, and And look what it did for the clothing industry. You couldn't sew clothes quick enough. You couldn't. The shoe factory, where are shoe factories? In Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Wisconsin, places like that. You couldn't get shoes out quick enough.
So if your shoes were lost, they were lost, you couldn't get new ones
So
for like a few weeks?
on the arch of your shoe, your boot, you had your serial number and name, stenciled. And that's all you remembered in the Navy. 382-3124. Like if I was taking prisoner of war, I give them my name and my serial number.
So if you lost your shoes, someone would return them to you?
Well,
Because you knew that.
I would hope so.
But everyone would know they were your shoes.
Yeah, I mean, your shoe bag stands about this, that item's about that big around. So you got your dungarees, your dress blues, your undress blues, your skivvies, your socks, everything in there. And that's your suitcase. That's your wardrobe. Your mattress, your blankets, you tie them up and you put 13 hat stitches around it. And then you put your sea bag in there and do that up and lash that all together. That's your traveling wardrobe. Then what it is now, I have no idea.
When you came back after you got married, did your wife approve of you going back to Iraq? What was
No,
her?
she said, yeah, you and Charlie had to go on to the goddamn Naval Reserve.
So she didn't.
He was an aviation machinist, they didn't need. I was a machinist mate, so they took me back. I got aboard the USS Bataan.
What kind of medals did you get?
Huh?
What kind of medals and ribbons did you
Good
earn?
conduct medal. I got the Asiatic Pacific and the European Theater. And that's it. On the Asiatic Pacific, I got two, one for being torpedoed, and then the other one for Iwo Jima. And I got 3 for the Asiatic Pacific, or the European Theater. So I got, it was bombed 3 times, went up on the beach, on the planes in the vicinity of our ship over in Algiers. They fly over us and come at us out of the sun using us for targets. We shoot back. We shot down a Spitfire, and we shot down a Limey Wally. And a P-51 American Mustang was using our ship for, and we shot at him. We finally put notice that within 50 miles of our ship, don't fly over the Thomas Stone. You do so at your own risk. That was it.
Thank you so much for sharing your story.
It's amazing.
It was really inspiring.